To me, anyone that looks like this, 95% of the time, they're going to be not natural. There's maybe 5% of the people in the world that look like this that can actually do this natural. Coach Greg, in today's video, a natty or not on none other than Quan 2C. I actually met this guy in Orlando. He had an amazing physique, and people have requested for me to do a natty or not on him. And so here are some stats. He's 30 years of age. He's 180 centimeters, only about 5'11", and weighs currently 85 kilograms. And you're thinking, well, that is not that big. The guy is 30, 85 kilograms, almost 6 feet tall. That is not all that impressive. But have you seen his physique? He has a very small waist, wide shoulders, and amazing genetics. He's competed in competitions, men's physique, and in fact placed first. Considering the fact that he said he's only trained for 5 years, that is very impressive. He was only 70 kilograms. He states he only did body weight exercises. He wasn't training in a gym, but he did begin with very good abdominals. And so when you have very impressive abdominals, it gives the illusion of everything looking better. And the smaller the waist, the larger everything looks in comparison. And so when you record videos, you post photos on Instagram, if you have great lighting, great camera angles, and a pump, and a nice looking six-pack, everything is going to look better than it actually is. And so if you saw him in person, you wouldn't think he's all that big. But when you see some of the photos, you're thinking, there's no way that that guy's natural. As he showed me many of his photos, I was thinking, this is you? You look like that? Are you sure you're natural? And so very, very suspicious. And so is it possible that he took performance-enhancing drugs to take those photos and that he's natural now, but who's taken steroids in the past? Well, absolutely. It's certainly possible. How could I be sure? I don't know for sure if he's natural or if he's not, but based on what I saw, based on what I'm looking at, I do in fact believe the guy's natural. And so as you can see, he has great abdominals, but he doesn't look overly large. He has a very lean physique, a physique of which he needs to train. But fast forward to 2020, look at the changes. But remember, newbie gains is a real and actual thing. It's not make-believe. And so when you first start training, he says he's been training for 5 years. The first couple of years, he's going to make the most significant changes. And so he continues to train. He stays in great shape, and he has a small waist, great abdominals. And so you can see the difference in the chest, the shoulders, the arms. He's making very good quality gains. And remember, he's taking these videos, these photos, after he has a pump in the gym. Do you know the difference a pump can make? You can literally look like you've been training for a year by working out for 15 minutes. When I take a photo of myself before I go to the gym and one of me after going to the gym, it's night and day. You might be thinking, wow, you look natural before you got to the gym, and after the gym, you are not natural. But literally, all I'm doing is working out. And so just because somebody looks amazing in a photo or video, you have to consider, are they pumped? Do they have a tan? Are they perhaps sweating? Have some oil on it, gloss? That makes a huge difference. Not to mention, are you standing closer to the camera? If you're standing back here and your chest is closer there, the chest looking bigger, the waist is going to look smaller. You flex forward, you're flexing the upper body, it's going to look a lot bigger. The abs are further back, it's going to look smaller. And so the illusions of how you're standing, where you're taking the photo, that combined with having a pump, of which I do not have right now, makes a huge difference. If I went to the gym and trained for 20 minutes, did a front double bicep chest pose, you'd see veins, vascular, you'd say, wow, what happened to Greg? I just went and worked out. And you can see 83 kilograms back in 2021. Very impressive. But remember, when he did make it to the stage and he dieted, he got back down to 76 kilograms. And so although he weighs a lot more, a lot of that is water and or body fat. When you diet down for competitions, you have to lose always more weight than you think. And so he began his training at 70 kilograms. And once he won his competition, he was 76 kilograms. That's a total of 6 kilograms that he put on. Perhaps he was a bit leaner, had more conditioning, but in total, let's assume he put on 10 kilograms. That's over 5 years. Does it not make sense that somebody with great genetics could gain 10 kilograms of muscle in 5 years? That works out to 2.5 kilograms per year. To me, that seems perfectly normal for a man with great genetics. And so what you really notice about this guy is a great chest, great abs, wide shoulders, and nice looking arms. But compare his upper body in the front to his upper body from the back. He looks far more impressive from the front than he does from the rear. And so if all of his photos were his back, you wouldn't be thinking he's not natural. But when you see his best body parts, you're thinking, oh, I don't think that he did that natural. but have you seen his legs? Do his legs stand out? The guy is almost 6 feet tall, 180 centimeters, but at his biggest in his off-season is 85 kilograms. And on stage, only 76 kilograms at 180 centimeters. I certainly think that guys with great genetics, if they've been training hard for 5 years, can step on stage at only 76 kilograms when they're 180 centimeters tall. Now, if his upper body, as we're seeing here right now, if that were his weakness, if he turned around and his back were way more impressive, or he flexed his legs and they were absolutely ridiculous, they had muscle popping out everywhere, I'd say, yeah, probably not natural. But would he weigh 76 kilograms on stage? Probably not. He'd probably be 90 kilograms on stage. And so seeing as the majority of his muscles are just the show muscles, the chest, the shoulders, the arms, the abs, those are the show muscles, the muscles that you see when people take a photo with your shirt off. That means it's far more likely that he's natural. If he was unnatural, if he was on performance-enhancing drugs, you'd more likely see a bigger back, more back development, more muscle there, as well as much bigger legs. And so as you see him rolling up those green shorts, do those look like very impressive quads? I don't think so. It looks like he trains them. There's muscle there, but it's not mind-blowing. It's not like, wow, how did he ever get those legs? He looks like he has a very good body for a man with great genetics. And standing up on stage, does he look like the biggest guy? Look at the person to his right. Does that man not look way bigger? If you said natty or not, guy on his right, I'm saying not natural. But as I see him standing next to him, he does in fact look natural. Not saying it's impossible that he's not taking something, but if you were to compare these two physiques, which in your eyes looks like the guy who's not natural? If you had to pick one person that's not natural in this lineup, would you really think it's him? What I see is a guy with great genetics. The wide shoulders, the small waist, abs, has the chest. That is what he has. The guy on the right has far more muscle development. It almost looks as though he's not natural. It's possible that he's natural, but most likely he's not. And so notice they announce his number, they put him to the center. That means that the judges most likely have him in first place. When you're in a competition, they place the best athletes towards the center. If you're on the side, it means you're not doing as well. And so by hearing his number called and switching him over to the middle, they're thinking, yeah, he's probably first or second place. And so when you watch competitions, please try to see who is going towards the middle. If you're in the center, you have the most likely chance to win. And notice the man in the back, he's got the yellowy orange looking shorts, the guy with the belly. Notice how he's in the back and not in the front. What that is, they have multiple call outs. They call out the best athletes first. And so in the first call out, it's usually the first 5 or 6 athletes. They go to the front. The people who are not in the top 5, top 6, they stick around in the back. And so as you can see in the back, he's clearly not conditioned. To me, that is an off-season body. I do believe he's closer to 25% body fat. This is not a physique that's going to place highly in the competition. Not saying he shouldn't compete. Perhaps that guy lost 100 pounds. Maybe he weighed 300 pounds in the offseason, dieted for an entire year, got down to 200, and he's proud of his physique. And so just because he doesn't have an amazing six-pack doesn't mean he doesn't deserve to stand up there. He doesn't deserve to win, but of course he deserves to be allowed in the competition. Look at him with the white shorts. You can see he has quads. They're very well developed, but they're not shredded. I don't see lines going up and down. And so if he were to truly diet down to a bodybuilding competition, he'd probably get close to 70 kilograms. I know you're finding it hard to believe that he could actually lose 6 more kilograms, but if he wanted to be completely shredded, feathered, striated glutes, quads, everything, he most likely would have to diet for 6 weeks or even more. And so standing with his friend on the right with the hat, he claims to be 100% natural. It's 100% possible, but to me, anyone that looks like this, 95% of the time, they're going to be not natural. There's maybe 5% of the people in the world that look like this that can actually do this natural. And so if you're a betting man, of which I am, I'm going to bet not natural, because more often than not, you're going to be right. And so if you see truly impressive physiques that you're thinking, there's no way they did that natural, you're probably right. It's possible that they're natural, but more often than not, they're not natural. And so when you're going to the gym and you're comparing yourself to other people, you're saying, why does that guy look so good? Chances are they're probably not natural. And so why bother comparing yourself to other people? Compare yourself to yourself. Can you look better today than you did yesterday? Can you do better tomorrow than you did today? Comparing yourself to other people, it's useless. How do you know they're natural? How do you know that if you took what they're taking, that you would get the same results? You don't know. Some people have amazing genetics, and if they take performance-enhancing drugs, they get huge. They perhaps look like Chris Bumstead. Other people, they take performance-enhancing drugs, and they don't notice that much difference. They look better, sure. They look bigger, maybe, by a bit, but they're not putting on 30, 40 kilograms of muscle. Some people just don't have it in their genetics to be able to put on a lot of muscle. And so look at baby Carrot in the middle. Look how much bigger he is, how much more muscle it has, how much more imposing he is. Can you see the difference? And so of course it's possible, because I do believe baby Carrot is natural. And so these other guys, they also can be natural. I'm not saying it's guaranteed. They of course could be pretending, they could be cheating the system, they could be lying, but we don't really know. But in the end, does it matter?
It doesn't
The Rock knows it doesn't matter. And so please try not to worry about what other people are doing. Do the best that you can do all by yourself. And so what I saw is from the first time he started lifting, he was 70 kilograms, to perhaps 2 years in, he made significant changes. That would be the most likely time that if he was taking something, that he would have taken something. But remember, I explained that that is through newbie gains. It's much easier to put on muscle at the start. Now, if he had continued to make progress at the same rate, I'd have said there's no way this guy's natural, because the newbie gains would have been over. The first 2 years, perhaps 3, you're going to put on the most muscle. But if you continue to put on muscle, or even at an accelerated rate, suddenly year 4, year 5, you're growing exponentially. There's no way you're doing that natural. But I didn't see that here. It looked like he made the most amount of progress the first few years of training, and then slower amounts of progress after that. That is exactly conducive with somebody who's training 100% natural. And so Jesse James, in comparison, he's about 5 centimeters shorter, and he's actually about the same weight as this guy in his off season. On stage, Jesse James about 3 kilograms heavier. And so in comparison, Jesse James is 100% natural, but actually much bigger than this guy. And so if Jesse James can be natural, then why can't this guy be natural? And don't forget, if you want to stay 100% natural, but perhaps increase your gains, you can of course use G-test. Studies show you can increase your testosterone levels by 2 to 400 nanograms per deciliter. Remember, it's not just me saying this. Andrew Huberman stated this on the Joe Rogan podcast. Please do your research. Also, we have Ecti Builder and GO2 Max. Please do your research on NMN, various Ecti steroids, and find out for yourself the wonderful benefits they can provide. If you're interested in any of these, of course, use code Greg for 10% off and click the link in the description. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Don't forget to watch one of those 2 bloops. Looking for coaching plans by me and my team? The freaking cookbook, the Circle Diet book back here, the training book's got several of these, PDF or hard copy. Click the link in the description. If you have no money, don't worry, you can get a free diet and training program. Also join the newsletter, get over to my website, and until next time, I am out.